Okay, folks, today I want to talk a little bit about maintenance of trail cameras, and it's more about storage than anything. But today is the first day of turkey season. We were out on the place hunting this morning, and I hadn't had a chance to pick up my trail cameras from deer season. Um, Here in Alabama, deer season stretches into early February, roughly the 10th of February, if I remember correctly. So it's now the 20-something of March, 23rd of March, something like that, 22nd, an open day of turkey season, Saturday. Um, and Bottom line is I just hadn't picked them up. So I just picked them up. Noticed that the locks, and these are some cheap Chinese locks, um, and noticed they were a little tough to get into, so used some WD-40 on them, inserted the keys, and just made sure they were well lubed for next season. I'm gonna store them in this tub. Also, I've got one that I put a little note, top leak, on this camera because there was some water in the battery compartment, so I'm going to probably put some sort of sealer on this seam here next year, and that just reminds me to do that and reminds me which one it was. I got two different kinds of cameras, a couple of cheap Tascos, and then the Bushnell, and honestly I don't even, it's like an M50i or something like that. Anyway, it's a good camera. I set it on video and have some pretty good videos. So let's see. Yeah, regardless, it's Moultrie, and I've got cables that I put through these to secure them to the tree. We've never had trouble with anybody stealing, but just in case. And what I do on these cables is get these aluminum cable, I don't want to call them clamps, but they're round, and you stick the end of the cable in there and you put it on some concrete or some hard surface, and then weld the hell out of it with a hammer, and it crimps it onto the cable. So I just did that. So they're permanently attached. You can't get them out of there. They're permanently attached to the excuse me for this. They're permanently attached. If somebody really wanted to break that or cut it with a cable, a bolt cutter, they certainly could, but this just stops the honest thieves. Well, we really never had any trouble on our property. We've got, ours is in the middle of a industrial forestry company that leases their property to a hunting club. We got a good relationship with them, and so we've really never had any trouble. And we're probably right in the middle of 3,000 acres of their lease. Anyway, so just wanted to talk a few minutes about that. Also, you'll notice that on some of the SD cards I've labeled a Ziploc bag with a label as to which camera it came from, A, B, C, D, E. The reason I did that is because one of these cameras was giving me trouble last year, and I want to be able to identify which one it was, so I can either send it back to Moultrie or I can drop it in the trash, either one. So when I look at the photos, I'll see which one it was. Anyway, just wanted to talk a few minutes about maintenance of cameras at the end of the season. Make sure that you take the batteries out of these things. If you don't, they're going to end up, the battery is going to leak, it's going to ruin your camera, and that's a hard lesson to learn if you're spending much on cameras. So take the batteries out at the end of the season. Mark on them with any notes if you've got issues, and you'll be good to go for next year. So anyway, stay tuned for more management videos.